Chris.
Heath.
It's podcast time.
All right. I thought I'd just ease us in.
Who's us?
Oh, we're the Deltarune book club. Sorry, Freudian slip. We're Mobius Tubes.
That's Thursday.
We're the Mobius Tubes podcast. We're a video game show. This is episode 125. We're recording this on the last day of June 30th, 2025. Samantha is here recording with us as well.
Hi, guys.
And yeah, I mentioned the date. I think all the signs of summer are in the air. I had the opportunity to go to a barbecue with Samantha's volleyball team. I had a chance to roast marshmallows around a campfire. I'm covered in bug bites, and the most telltale sign of all, the Steam summer sale is in full swing, as it is every year. I made a few purchases. One of them wasn't even on sale. It was just, I couldn't help myself any longer. I purchased Split Fiction. Samantha and I are going through that. Stay tuned for next episode for an update on that. And my other purchase during the Steam summer sale was my very first ever early access purchase. Have either of you ever purchased a game in early access before? That format where a game is available for consumers before it actually officially releases?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I try to avoid it by and large. Heath is racking his brain.
I bought Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear, before Phantom Pain came out.
Which is a wonky, like an appetizer.
I bought it the month before Games for Gold Xbox made it free, and I felt like the biggest fool.
This is over a decade ago, and it still haunts your memory, apparently.
It haunts Solid Snake's memory, too.
But anyway, my first early access purchase was Hades 2. I actually have zero intention of playing it until it officially releases. I just wanted to get ahead of the curve. Supergiant mentioned as much when the game properly comes out later this very year. They are holding the right to actually raise the price, so I figured I might as well get in on the ground floor.
Oh, what?
Since it'll be so content rich at that point, they might jack up the entry fee.
Okay.
But anyway, maybe a strange purchase. I bought an early access game with no intention of playing it until it's out. I bought it because they finally said the next update will be the release, and that'll be soon.
You're going to get in on that Slay the Spire 2, right?
Slay the Spire 2? I don't know.
Because that's going to be as early access gets.
That'll also announce for early access. I think I have a greater degree of patience for that one. Maybe.
All right.
You guys buying anything in the Steam summer sale? Probably not.
Why buy things when I have access to another 200 games I need to play? Thanks to Chris's Steam family sharing library.
And I'm just adding more to the pile, so it's an infinite recursion machine.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2 is almost here.
It's out.
It's out.
It's out in the wild. Reviews looking hot.
I'm not well.
Yeah, I'm jazzed for that.
Good.
When I get to it in a year or two. Anyway, we've got a full itinerary for this episode of Mobius Tubes. Should we just hop on into it?
Yes.
I'm here to talk about Mario Kart World.
Again?
One more time, yeah. There's just some loose ends we need to tie up. So Samantha and I have continued to play Mario Kart World, the biggest launch title of the Switch 2. And I guess I'll start positive. To my surprise, we've played it more than I anticipated I would. I think we're above the 10-hour mark now. Samantha and I have been playing it a lot, local co-op.
And another point in its favor, I'm not really a Mario Kart person. The only reason I will sit down and play Mario Kart is if I'm at like a group thing and people want to play it.
It's drama club,
Right.
the rap party.
The only Mario Kart I ever willingly played was Mario Kart Double Dash, which is the best Mario Kart. I am willing and having fun playing Mario Kart World.
Yeah, it's been a pleasant time, probably because we're playing it with each other as partners.
Sure.
What I didn't expect, it's the most minor of hooks, but it's doing something for me. Getting all the alternate costumes and skins for the main cast is pretty fun. There have been some standouts. I'm a big fan of Aristocrat King Boo with his little monocle and his
top hat.
Top hat and the crown at the same time.
I'm a big fan of Soft Serve Toadette. Her little hat thing looks like ice cream and it has little sprinkles on it. She's so cute. And Toad has the equivalent where like his little Toad hat is like a hamburger. So I think they're both really cute.
The most elusive carrot on the stick is some of the weirder characters we have yet to unlock. People like Pianta.
Yeah.
People like Fishbone.
Cataquack.
Yeah.
Put this in terms I can understand. they're gate kept by 200cc Grand Prix first place things?
You would think, but no. There's a Kamek power which will change the form of characters in front of you. And on certain courses, you need to get the Kamek power and have somebody who's a human player get hit by it, and they will unlock the character that way.
Very conditional.
Yes.
Very conditional, very RNG based. Samantha and I did far too many laps of a certain beach level.
The Koopa Troopa Beach.
Trying to get Cataquack to no avail.
This is akin to hunting for shinies.
Kind of.
Yeah. To get the outfits for like Wario, for instance, that's much easier on...
You just have to fart on the person next to you.
When you're doing a race, there will be little to-go bags you can grab from like restaurants, and it'll give you a random food, and that food can possibly change them into a new skin. Like certain foods will unlock new skins. So yeah, that's much easier to do.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying the costume unlocking metagame. After getting more hands-on time with it, what has failed to really capture my attention is the open world tour exploration mode. I really get bored of it after 10-minute increments. It's just, the word being thrown around is it's mostly aimless, just finding those random P buttons. It feels like Nintendo did the hard part of like creating this entire cohesive world, populating it with challenges, and it was half-baked. I wish there was a more overarching goal to it. Maybe just subdivide it into zones. Even it's missing quality of life features such as like simple progress tracking. So I don't even know where in the world I should be focusing my exploration. It was like 65% of the way to grabbing my interest in a more meaningful way, but it doesn't quite get there.
The world is really beautiful, though. Driving around is such an experience. I feel like all the environments are really detailed and there's always something new to look at. But I agree with Chris. Within 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, well, we did a couple P buttons and now I'm bored because the challenges aren't ever really that challenging. You can normally get it in 1 or 2 tries. So it's not even like that's really grabbing your attention that much.
You guys ever see those gimmick live streams where players will, every time I die, I will add a new UI element? So they'll be playing Dark Souls, and then it'll add the Skyrim thing at the top with the arrow markers, and then it'll add Red Dead Redemption minimap, and add Ezio Assassin's Creed synchronization percentage. And the joke is by the end of the live stream, the screen is so polluted you can't even see the Dark Souls anymore. But it sounds like Mario Kart needed some sort of objective marker you could always drive toward and have a meaningful destination.
Right.
Or even just like a little toad that talks to you sometimes, and you're like doing some sort of plot progression, like, oh, if you get all the P buttons, you'll defeat Bowser. Like even just the basic, here's a reward for your work.
Yeah, I feel like these criticisms evaporate as soon as you put this mode in front of a child whose brain hasn't been corrupted with the need to be productive. But I can't speak from that perspective, just speaking for myself.
Oh yeah, these games are for children. That's a good point, Chris.
Right, and especially that mode, I assume. I will say, the part of Mario Kart World Samantha and I have been enjoying the most, I think, maybe I'm putting words in her mouth, has been playing the Grand Prix and Knockout Tour modes, but doing them in this might be heresy to most local Mario Kart players. We're playing these modes quasi-cooperatively, where we're considering it a win if either of us can take home the gold. Ideally, one of us is in first, others in second. Player in second's kind of playing defense, soaking up the red shells.
You're playing it like Quidditch. One of you has the snitch, and the other one has like the bats and hitting the bludgeons into the. I'm so literary this episode.
Or we'll announce here. I'll quickly switch with you, Samantha. I'll take that incoming blue shell for you, so you can zoom on ahead. Yeah, we're being so selfless.
Chris says that, but most of the time, if he's taking the blue shell, it's because he's long been in first, and it's too late for him to slow down.
He's in first, and the blue shell icon appears, and you see the red lights on the back of his cart light up. He's braking just so that you can overtake him.
Yeah, that definitely happens.
It's a Koopa's dilemma.
How have you found this somewhat strange way we've been playing this game?
It's probably why I'm enjoying Mario Kart more than I have in past years, because I don't think I'm a very good Mario Kart racer. Like, yeah, I can beat NPCs fine. I can't really compete very well with human players, and this makes me feel like I'm winning even when Chris is the one who's literally winning. I've won some of the gold trophies. I'm not saying I'm useless here. I'm just saying it feels like a shared victory instead of me competing against Chris and losing like 80% of the time.
Me taking a blue shell on the face can feel like a win if I'm bolstering your chances of victory.
Right.
Shared incentives.
Shared incentives.
Did you play the challenge map with the cows?
The challenge map with the cows.
In the open world? We
What?
might have missed it.
It's in the donkey video that I watched.
Okay.
Seek that out.
We
Okay.
did do the charging chuck challenge. I saw in the
That was
donkey video.
tough.
Chris got it on his first try.
No, it was
Oh,
my
second
second
try.
or third shot. We
Yeah.
got him. I was expecting to be stuck there for a while based on my donkey video expectations. So I will say, now I'm segueing into some criticisms from Mario Kart World here. The reason Samantha and I have been entertaining playing in this strange, friendly manner where we treat each other with kitty gloves is that your 22 other computer-controlled opponents can be so ruthless on the racetrack. It kind of shocks me.
Why is Daisy in second place getting triple red shells to throw all at me in exactly interspersed intervals to hit me every single time to where I've recovered from the first one? That is not fair.
There are just so many of them.
Yeah.
And I'm connecting back. This is the sequel to a strange observation we made in last episode of Mobius Tubes, where at the end of a particularly successful Grand Prix Samantha played in, she revealed to me her secret technique to doing so well was partway through, she stopped drifting, stopped trying to do anything too fancy, and seemingly was rewarded for it.
I was holding down A and using the joystick to turn my cart, and I won first place in all of the races.
So I have what I think is the explanation behind this strange behavior we were seeing. And maybe this is true to some degree in past Mario Kart games. I am only hyper tuned to it on this one because this is the first Mario Kart game I played in the era of me scrolling through Reddit. And Reddit picked up on the fact that I like Mario Kart World. So it's been recommending me threads from that subreddit. And I've been going down the YouTube rabbit hole. I've done my research and found out the conclusion the community has come to is that Mario Kart World's AI-controlled players' dynamic difficulty is in play that really adjusts their behavior based on how you're playing the game.
I thought you were going to say that. It's reading your inputs?
Because this is all very opaque. Nintendo doesn't breathe a word about this. But the community has come to the conclusion that certain variables it's tracking is how much are you drifting? How much are you rail grinding? Are you savvy enough to like throw items back behind you instead of just forward all the time? It's basically trying to assess how skilled of a player you are. And then depending on that, it'll determine how aggro the AI is against you with their items. It will arbitrarily speed them up just faster than they should be able to go.
Yeah.
Samantha found the hack the community has adopted called sandbagging, aka shortened, most people just call it bagging.
Yeah.
The optimal way to get gold in all the single player knockout tour or Grand Prix modes is to play like an infant for the first 2 or 2.5 laps, and then dunk on the AI at the very end. You've hopefully been curating a list of the best items as you've been sandbagging in the back of the pack. Then at the very last lap, you flip the switch, you start drifting and rail grinding and doing all the fun stuff. And then you just rubber band slingshot yourself into first.
This is the dilemma that Smash Bros. Melee has.
Okay.
Sakurai wanted to make a fun fighting game for the whole family to play. And then it's like the real optimal way to play is wave, dash, crush, cancel, counter, balance. Sakurai's like, this is not what I intended.
Right. The intention is that players with a variety of skill levels have a similarly challenging experience.
You can play with your 5-year-old and they're not going to be in 24th every single time.
Right.
Yeah.
But in practice, it leads to this outcome where if you want to play optimally and perform well, you end up ignoring many of the mechanics this game introduces, like the straight shot drifting and the rail grinding and the wall riding.
Say another thing about straight shot drifting, Chris.
Well, we'll get there in a second.
Okay.
You look like you want to hop in, Heath.
Straight shot.
Okay. And so I adopted the strategy for a few Grand Prix. I was noticing, it's not foolproof. You do have to execute in that final lap. I wasn't really enjoying the game feel of Mario Kart World took such a nosedive as soon as I wasn't allowed to drift anymore. The whole game just loses so much dynamism. It just feels like a children's game. I am playing like a child. And so I've abandoned this more optimal strategy because it was
It's
sapping
not
all
fun.
the enjoyment out of it.
Is that why Samantha didn't beat me? Is because she was bagging, but I was going mega sweaty and drifting on literally everything, doing everything I could. And for that reason, the AI was scaling to my skill inputs.
I would just be theorizing here. I was also trying to be sweaty, so maybe we were taking only half the brunt of the AI's ire.
The AI can't like pick and choose how aggressive it's going to be with respect to each player.
It might aim items at more aggressive players and kind of not the players around me may be getting mushrooms
Right.
and the players around you are getting red shells.
Their level of aggro can change.
That
Yeah.
granularity seems impossible.
No,
Oh.
come on. That's doable.
That's way doable.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the whole point, right? Why have this mechanic otherwise? Because you want to balance play among multiple players.
Right.
I agree with you, Chris. I do like to drift sometimes. I'm not a horrible Mario Kart player. I think it's way more fun when I get to interact with the fun mechanics, try my best. It sucks to like hang back in the back on purpose.
It doesn't feel like you're playing the intended experience. It feels like Nintendo just turned the dynamic difficulty dial up a few too many notches for this one. I could see it being adjusted in a future patch.
This whole conversation is in the context of 150cc, right?
Of course.
Okay.
And yes, this criticism also disappears as soon as you're playing online with a fully human roster.
Yeah, okay.
Because this is AI, only the AI this applies to.
No child's going to play at 150.
Perhaps, yeah, they should reduce the rubber banding on the higher modes. You're right. That would be a good solution.
Okay.
But I had this academic criticism where this issue of the dynamic difficulty being a little out of whack hasn't ruined the game for me. But if I'm Chris in the Nintendo HQ whiteboard design room,
Yeah.
and I
Who'd let him in?
and I notice that there's a mutual exclusion between optimal play and enjoyable play. To have the better outcome, you need to play in a less engaging way. I feel like that's a fundamental game design faux pas. I expect better from Nintendo.
I mean, gamers will always optimize the fun out of gaming when they can.
And it's the designer's job to try to make sure that optimal play and fun play are as aligned as possible.
Right.
Wow. These are chapter 1 elements of the book we're going to write.
Also, just so we're clear on like how bad the AI can be, in some of the Grand Prix on 150cc, we've been doing the somewhat co-op mode where we both just try to boost one of us into first place to get that gold. Sometimes we would still fail to do that. And Chris and I are playing at a point where like that shouldn't be happening. I think we're both good enough that either one of us should have been able to get all gold on all of them. It's really bad.
I'm totally open to the point that shatters our whole argument, which is just Samantha and I aren't very good at Mario Kart.
Get good.
I want to hear you say it. Mario Kart World's 150 is Double Dash's 200.
Okay, yeah.
In your opinion?
I could see that, yeah. I mean, I was a child when I played Double Dash 200, though, so to me, that was just impossible.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
The thumb that wasn't on the joystick, I was sucking it. That's how young I was.
Yeah.
I guess with this knowledge I've gleaned from my Reddit deep diving, it just made me look at the design of the game a little more skeptically, and I've uncovered other small tidbits that irk me, like a new mechanic World introduces is the straight shot charge jumping, where just like you would drift around a corner and kind of charge up a little boost, you can now charge up a little boost on straightaways. It's the same button as drifting, except you don't bother turning. And I'm like, okay, cool. So that's a new technique a skilled player can employ. It's a little bit more effortful to gain like a small advantage on straightaways that maybe a less dexterous child wouldn't have the skill to do. Except in the deep dive videos I've watched, if you charge up to do straightaway boosts, you actually are worse off than if you just didn't bother. You net slow down a little bit. And that's because charging it up, you slow down when you charge it up, and the boost you get isn't enough to compensate for the slowed speed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is the point?
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Why is this in the game? Why it is in the game is it's necessary
You
to
need
access.
to slow down on the curves anyway.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why it's useful on curves, but not on straightaways. The reason you do it is to get a little jump, which makes certain track-specific shortcuts accessible.
Yeah.
That's why you do it. Otherwise, just like Samantha said, it is a trap. If you are putting in that extra effort, the game is punishing you. And I'm like, that's not a good tool to introduce into your racing sandbox.
Just make people get the stupid feather that is the worst power in the game that makes you do a little jump. It's the same deal. Then you can access the shortcut.
Wait, in your opinion, they ought not have made straight drifting possible?
I liked it in theory when I thought it would bestow some sort of advantage for putting in the effort of doing it. But now that I know you're harming your performance, I'm like,
I don't know, buddy. Did you mash A when you were on horseback in Red Dead Redemption 2?
Oh, yeah.
The whole way?
Not the whole... You would exhaust your horse, I believe, if you did it too much.
So you're waiting for that gauge to refill, and then you're tap, 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 tap?
Yeah, I've got nothing better to do. You're saying it might be too much busy work. I don't see it as that big of an issue because often in Mario Kart, before you're driving for too long, you're going to be hit with a sharp turn at some point.
Okay.
At which point you're kind of judging distances, trying to weigh the risk and reward of, do I have enough time to jump in a straight line right now? And often the answer would be no, I should just wait for the turn.
Straight drifting should be optimal.
I think so, to make it a more competitively viable game.
Okay. I think I agree, but just barely.
Okay.
Make it just barely more optimal.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be like a huge speed boost, but like a little bit would be nice. Punishing your player is bad.
The other thing that bothers me is when you hop into the manual of the game and it explains this new technique, nowhere does it say you shouldn't do this very often. It's an edge case thing. They leave it to the players to eventually, through experimentation, discover, oh, this is not a good strategy.
And then the AI sees that you're drifting more because you're drifting on all those straights and it comes
And it's like,
even harder.
You've chosen death.
Yeah. And you're like, why can't I get above fourth place?
All right, this conversation in Mario Kart World has already gone on a little longer than I expected it to.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's fine. If I didn't have a backlog of Switch 1 games to be playing on my Switch 2 right now, I would have been like, oof, this is a very weak launch title to prop up this console.
That's harsh.
It's the only thing out from Nintendo right now.
No, you can play Welcome Tour
My bad.
for a fortune.
One last thing about Mario Kart World, the music is really, really good.
Yeah, it's been strong.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's the best Mario Kart song I listened to since we last recorded?
What?
It's TV Time, the Tenna boss fight music.
Think that would fit in a racing game?
Specifically, it is a Mario Kart Rainbow Road sound-alike that we never got.
I could see it. It's very like gamey, you know?
Especially the orchestra hit psh, 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 instrument, as well as the whole melody for the last part where it's like da, 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 da. This is Rainbow Road. You can't not hear it. Whatever. You guys are you're in the pocket of big Attack of Killer Queen. I love Tenna.
So why don't we go ahead and transition into the other game all three of us have been playing, which is Deltarune.
Right. So where we last left off, Chris, you had finished chapter 2, but you hadn't played the weird route yet.
Right.
And now reconvening today, where are we?
I have brief, non-spoilery things to say about Deltarune Chapter 2, the weird route, and then we can hop into Chapter 3, which is just that. Wow, it's wildly divergent. There's a branching point in Chapter 2. Most people who play it conventionally will go through and see the normal thing, and then buried deep within the bowels of this game is this entirely different path. And that slightly bothered me. I was flashing back, trying to theory of mind what naive Chris in 2016 with his Virgin Undertale playthrough, he would have never known about the weird route. And it's just passing him by. What a shame, because that seems like such an interesting part of the Deltarune experience that Toby has made no effort to like clue players into that it exists in the first place.
I mean, if you're like the first player to find it, right? When you start going left from the alleyway, Noelle says, "Oh, Chris, that's not the right way. Like, where are we going?" She comments on it. And then like, as you progressively make decisions that lead you to that route, at first you'll get dialogue and then you'll start hearing a little doo-doo noise.
Sound cue. But getting into locking yourself into that route was a multi-step process. Samantha, who has done it before and was trying to breadcrumb me through it, even she was double checking the notes, making sure we don't mess it up.
Getting the snow ring is hard.
Yeah, that is definitely not something.
Snow ring?
No, the thorn ring, maybe?
That's also hard.
Yeah, that's hard. Getting the snow ring if you mess up like one dialogue prompt,
I think I did.
you're locked out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see that definitely being weird. You definitely always have to go in with the mind of picking the weirdest possible dialogue option or the one that makes you feel uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know how the first player found it. I'm very grateful for that Reddit thread that went ahead and explained step by step how to do it for me. And then years later, I got to help Chris do it again.
And after seeing it, it's certainly in my mind, just even when I'm playing the normal route, it's enriched the whole experience for me. Because I'm thinking, okay, we're in chapter 2 out of 7, and Toby has bolted on the second path where certain characters are going to be missing. Who is even the antagonist maybe is different. I don't know. It just seems like a Mass Effect 1, we're taking a wildly different path, and now we're going to have to live with these consequences for like 2 more full games.
And Toby claims there is one ending to this game.
What?
Yes. On the Steam store page,
it
says, and there's one ending.
My 2 saves are going to end the same way?
Well,
wrong, Samantha.
That's how I feel, especially, oh God, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, Samantha, the description you're referencing from the Steam page, that sentence of one ending ends with a question mark, right?
Perhaps. We'll talk about this more in the next episode.
I think that's Toby being coy. There's no way they have the same ending.
I think he's being coy, but I think he's being coy about a different thing, which we're not going to talk about today.
Okay, and that's really all I can say that's spoiler-free about the Chapter 2 Weird Route. So we will readdress it in the spoiler section.
So Chapter 3 then.
So Chapter 3.
What 3-letter name did you make?
First time I did KRS, and the second time I did ass.
Like Susie does.
Yeah, she loved it.
So this is in the game show where
Yes.
you're entering your name for the contestants to see. Yeah, I was boring. I did KRS as well.
What about you, Heath?
Why?
Why?
Well, that's what I did. I did WHY. That's a who's on first joke.
Very funny.
While I was watching that segment, I wondered how many like specific unique dialogue responses there are.
I watched that same video.
Okay. Were there many?
Well, if you do AAA, 10 is like, the contestants are already screaming with delight. And then if you do ass, it's like, well, this won't be confusing.
Susie said, I knew I could count on you, Chris.
I love
she's
her.
great. Yeah.
I have some overarching thoughts. So Chapter 3, the TV world level of Deltarune. I think it was simultaneously the best and worst Deltarune has been up until this point. The gameplay segments and gimmicks are at their most creative, their most bespoke gags, high effort jokes. Toby's bringing out all the stops, cool like video game commentary with the players actually playing a game. And at the same time, this is the only chapter I've seen so far I would accuse of being filler. Taking exception to the opening 5 minutes and the final 5 minutes of Chapter 3, if you cut out everything in the middle, how much would the plot change? I would say almost not at all.
Almost not at all. You would miss out on your beloved Mr. Tenna, Chris.
Right. I mean, does he need to be there? He seems so sequestered on only this chapter.
He's a metaphor for what Ralsei is going through, where he sees his only purpose in life is to be useful. You know, that's the whole point of this chapter. I agree with you by and large on your compliment sandwich there. Just that is the point of this chapter. Tenna is the metaphor for Ralsei being like, don't worry about me as like a thinking, feeling being. I don't matter. I only matter as far as I am useful to you and Chris, Susie.
Yeah, that is the overarching emotional core of this chapter.
Yes.
But it was a bit of an unexpected shift where character development takes a backseat in this chapter. There's not a lot of dialogue. You're not learning a lot about the cast. In fact, the main trio comments on it as much like, wow, I was having so much fun playing these board games on the TV that I kind of forgot what we were here to do. It just feels like a big tangent with, I guess, a couple thematic strings tying into Ralsei's headspace.
It's my least favorite chapter so far, but that does not mean I didn't like it.
While I am accusing it of being filler, it is some of the highest quality filler content I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I had a great time playing it. So much so, I almost forgot that I wasn't really learning anything about the story.
Those rhythm games are so fun.
Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
The physical challenges.
The physical challenges.
And I enjoyed the game show gimmick of being assessed on a letter grading scale. It tricked my brain into thinking I was playing like a Devil May Cry character action game. I was trying to get that S rank.
Did you get T rank?
I did in at least one category. I'm blanking on which one it was.
TP probably.
Probably.
I tried so hard to get T rank
On like the whole thing?
for a round.
Okay. Wow. That's hard.
It's harder than beating the final boss.
That makes sense. I wouldn't try to
You
do
just
that.
can't reset.
Yeah.
I will save some of my favorite specific moments about Chapter 3 for the spoiler section. I will just say I really enjoyed how the game played with the characters playing a video game on the TV within the game. I thought it mixed things up pretty cool.
Talking about themes of Deltarune, Chris.
Characters controlling characters.
Man, what is our agency? Says a lot about that, especially in the secret part of Chapter 3. Heath, do you have anything to say non-spoiler about Chapter 3?
Top of the list. Never exchange points for dark dollars.
Even at the very end?
Do you mean the reverse? Never exchange dark dollars for points?
That's a given.
Right.
You're never going to run out of points
right.
if you're playing well. But even at the very end, never exchange points for dark dollars because the exchange rate, if you spend the most amount of money, it's 1.5 to 1. But if you go to a certain machine backstage and buy discounted TV slop, you can then sell that for dark dollars and get 4 to 1 return.
Whoa.
I see.
Okay.
Business major Heath with the hot tips. I'm almost glad I didn't do it because I would have wasted so much time and inventory space exchanging those.
I'm going to need that money.
Chris will do anything to make his money number go up.
Yeah. Tenna, that cereal mascot looking motherfucker. He's tried and true. You know how the previous Pope had a Megalovania concert? I want to see Tenna in places I really shouldn't. Like the cockpit of a plane just going...
Heath is doing the arm windmill thing.
I've seen the source of those animations, all of the dancing animations that he does. And yeah, if you ever feel like you're not putting enough effort into something, he just ripped those straight out of the free 3D model bank library.
Can you elaborate on the Pope having a Megalovania concert?
Have you not watched Pope Francis jamming out to Cirque du Soleil's Megalovania routine?
No.
The Cirque du Soleil has a Megalovania routine?
I'm learning so much from this
All right,
bit.
so my other joke was... Hey, Toby, it's me, the music guy. Hey, listen, love Rude Buster. Can you slow it down a little bit? Nobody can play the solo at the very end. It's so fast. You know how we played Megalovania for the Pope? We tried to play Rude Buster, and then he died, right? that was I messed it up. Anyway, just slow it down. Thanks, bye. Hey, Toby. Okay, so you slowed it down a little bit for Rooter Buster, but we need to go even slower. Can you do that? Thank you so much, Toby. Okay, I love you. All right, bye. Toby, great job. Vapor Buster is so much slower. It's exactly what the kids needed. What? Even slower? Toby. No, I think we hit the nail on the head. Toby, where you go? Toby. Toby, what did you do? And then, it's the tone that plays when you go down to the shelter doors, and it's like the really slow whatever is playing. That's that joke. I'll say this about Rooter Buster. Every Disneyland needs a Disney World.
Elaborate.
People fight over which of them is better. I think that's stupid.
Because they're both great.
And then Vapor Buster.
I'm a big fan of Vapor Buster.
Like many of the characters in Toby Fox games, tracks like TV World and Raise Up Your Bat are looking at me like, aren't I fun? Please love me. Meanwhile, Vapor Buster is like, want to see me do it again? And then I guess I'll end it with this. Here's the conspiracy theory that I cannot unknow. Chapter 3 was a sequel to Hotland.
Okay.
Cooking show, quizzes, a water cooler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Antagonist whose job it is to stall the protagonist. And then just listening to TV World, it's core again.
No wonder I was smitten.
Chapter 4 was a sequel to Waterfall.
Oh,
I could see that.
interesting.
Yeah.
What are the Chapter 1 and Chapter 2's sequels to?
They're sequels to Undertale. I don't know.
I do think the comparisons between Tenna and Metaton, they seem kind of similar to me. I feel like Metaton was pretending to be what Tenna actually is.
Ooh.
If that makes sense. You know, Metaton, there was lots of deep thoughts happening inside of him where he was like, oh, I want to go to the surface. And then he has this big realization where he's like, actually, what's my true purpose? What's going to fulfill me in life is being the only star these people have down here because they don't have celebrities.
You're talking about Metaton?
Yeah. So he decides to stay because he cares about his people. Tenna just wants to be ATV and get to do that for the rest of his life. That is his only desire. No big realizations. He's just like, I need to be
There's
ATV.
no meta commentary with Tenna.
Nope. He is exactly who he is at the start of the chapter as he is at the end. Except he's less loyal to the knight, I guess.
Fewer arms.
Chris.
Okay, I have a couple more comments about Chapter 3, general things. A term I hear bandied about once in a while about certain video games, usually as a point of praise, is production per square inch. This is often levied at the highest budget AAA games coming from Naughty Dog or Rockstar, usually drawing attention to how many environmental details are jam-packed into one small little closet room because they've got a billion people working on the game and they can make all those art assets and really blow your mind with this production per square inch metric. And while I was playing Deltarune, just all chapters 1, 2, and 3, I started to think Toby Fox is also aspiring to hit a very high but different metric, not production per square inch, but jokes received per gameplay section. For short, that's JRPGs. Did you see what I did there? The number of jokes come fast and furious in this game. I can't believe how much effort he goes to, be it witty dialogue, completely one-off mechanical encounters you have. I want to say like Shutta, for example, from Chapter 3, the camera snapping guy. More on him in the spoiler section. The ideas and jokes per minute you're playing this game, I cannot believe how dense it is. It's commendable.
I have a laser pointer.
Wait, I have a laser.
Thank you. I was trying to recall what that was.
I think he's always been in sort of that style. I feel like in Undertale, you could go and click on any object and there was something funny about it. But it definitely shines more in Deltarune, where there's maybe more stuff to look at and there's more characters that you like know by name who are funny. It's more fleshed out.
The density of the material was really impressive to me. I'm becoming more and more understanding of why these chapters take so long to make. While I accuse Chapter 3 of being filler to the overall plot, there's no filler when you're playing the game. It's constantly engaging.
I'll say as the only person who's finished Chapter 4, at the end of Chapter 4, you will be like, oh man, bring back Tenna, man. I need to laugh again. I'm not feeling so good.
You needed some levity.
Yeah.
The prophecy's a bit of a downer.
Oh, it gets worse. So yeah, that's I think Toby put Chapter 3 and 4 released together for a very good reason. And I think Chapter 3 is the feel-good moment.
You needed your sweet with your salty.
Yes.
Samantha's too young to know the joy that was having a CRT growing up.
I had a
Surely
CRT.
she had one.
Yeah, but I bet you didn't lick it and feel the static on your tongue. That's what Susie mentions in the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the zapper fight, turn off, the light goes dark, and you hear the crackle. That sells it for me. Is that lost on you guys? That CRTs would crackle?
I haven't thought about it in a long time.
Oh, it's Toby's specificity showing.
Good attention to detail.
It's because Toby's right around our age as well.
Yeah.
So we would have similar technological touchstones. I have a small appeal I'll make to my co-hosts.
Right.
So one thing I'm quite enjoying about Deltarune is while this game is packed to the brim with comedy and charming characters and funny interactions, it's also incredibly willing to delve into darker, horror-like elements, really serious themes, if I'm interpreting the weird route correctly. And that tonal whiplash is novel to me. I really enjoy it. And I'd say if that's also a core appeal of the game to you two, I would maybe gently push you guys towards playing a Yakuza game someday.
I was already gonna.
Those games are also famous for their tonal inconsistencies somehow being a big strength of the series, where at one point you're doing gags. Every side story is a pretty funny time.
We're talking about Like a Dragon.
The series in general, but this applies even more to the JRPG ones. Yeah, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, because those are games with the crazy tone that are also kind of parodies of the JRPG genre, just like Toby's doing with Deltarune, where Toby takes a more subversive angle with his games, but the Like a Dragon games are also lampooning JRPGs, where instead of a game where you're having character classes like, a warrior or a paladin, Like a Dragon dares to ask, what if your character class was homeless man? What would that look like? And things like that.
God.
They're just reinterpreting what a JRPG could look like, much in the same way Toby likes to do with his games.
Kiryu's got to take care of his orphans and like the, oh no, I have too many kids way, but he's also got to take care of his orphans in a very serious and grounded way.
Yeah. So to me, there is some shared appeal between these two series. I just wanted to point that out.
Heath won't play it because he has to read.
The more recent ones have full voice acting.
Okay, there you go.
I have one more non-spoilery thing to talk about.
Do tell.
This is the one part of Deltarune talk where I'll be a little bit negative, I guess. Why the skill check gatekeeping, Toby? What's that in there for?
Oh, I thought we weren't talking spoilers.
This isn't a spoiler to say there's a really hard part in Chapter 3.
Toby's kind of famous for the hard skill check battles. That's not new for him. If you want to access the cooler, darker content, you got to pony up and prove that you're not a little boy.
You're telling me the purpose behind the skill check is to gatekeep literal children from that content?
Literal children, whatever age they may be.
Why isn't the same criticism levied at Miyazaki?
From Software?
You've played Sekiro.
Sure.
The whole point of that game is to be skill checked.
Yeah, but Toby can't have a formidable challenge at the end of his story?
You can play Deltarune in full without facing any of these super hard fights. You can bypass those. You can watch them on YouTube.
You've got a slightly different definition than me of in full, I suppose.
Okay. You can play through the main plot of Deltarune without hitting any super hard fights. None of the final bosses are hard.
You can hit credits.
Yeah.
All right, I have a couple things. I'll defend this criticism. I'm wondering, the audience who sits down to play Deltarune, am I misjudging them? To me, the nail-biting, twitch reflex testing parts of this game that are in the periphery, at the edges of Deltarune, to me, at best, they're tangential to the core appeal of the game, and at worst, they're an antithesis to why you would play this game. I'm here for the fun dialogue, dude. Why am I being gatekept from this action-y twitch part of the game, which doesn't rear its head at any other portion of the game?
There's not that much funny dialogue past the gatekeeping.
It's the unfunny dialogue part, Chris.
I was maybe... Funny dialogue is my stand-in for I'm here for the plot.
Oh.
What action gamer ready to test their mettle is like, time to boot up Deltarune? No, you're booting up a From Software game, my guy.
I mean, people do boot up Undertale to play the Sans fight.
There's a speed running community, I'm sure.
Chris, Toby would argue there's a whole game's worth of game to play outside of the skill checked area.
And he's right. If you're like, oh, I'm being skill checked, you can go watch it on YouTube. You're not barred from seeing the content. Is it cooler when you dodge the attacks and you make it? Yeah, of course. Here's
my other issue right now. I feel like currently, with the state Deltarune is in, I'm Schrodinger's frustrated with it. I don't know how mad I should be that I can't get all the shadow crystals. I'm imagining what the audience for Deltarune is like. And I'm like, how many of them are happy when they get to that fight and are absolutely smacked down?
This is coming from the guy who took 2 tries to beat Jevil. He's like, this is too hard. And I'm like, Chris, it took me at least 45 minutes to do that. And I did it.
Exactly. That makes my criticism even worse because
I feel cool
I'm
when
being
I
gay
complete it, though.
Hey, what percent of people beat Sans?
It's got to be
1%.
Very small single digits.
Right. And that's fine in your mind.
I don't love that either, actually.
The whole point of the genocide route is that you're doing a really bad thing and you're being really evil. So if you're going to be evil, you better mean it.
That moment
Yeah.
would matter less if he were easier.
Yeah, if he were easy, then that whole point Toby is trying to make of this is really bad what you're doing, I don't want you doing this, is lost.
I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. It's definitely far less of an issue for me in Undertale. I feel like you can see 100% of the neutral and true pacifist routes without ever having a gatekeeping challenge like that.
Right.
Where I don't know where Deltarune's going with this. So far, I've had to put in the legwork with Jevil and Spant and Neo.
Had to.
2 tries, buddy.
I was accruing progress towards this greater goal of the Shadow Crystals.
Yeah.
And now my progress has met its end. I've been stopped in Chapter 3. What was the point of the first 2?
You're not going to be locked out of the special moment if you don't get every Shadow Crystal.
That's the Schrodinger's dilemma I'm in. I don't
think
know that.
Every shadow crystal is just going to net you like a cool item.
This is all conjecture.
Also, Chris, if you're like, I got locked out because of 3rd shadow crystal, I never saw the end of the genocide route because I couldn't even get past Undyne, who is the easier of the 2 fights. So I just looked it up on YouTube and I was fine. I got to see the content and I didn't get to feel bad about it either.
I love engaging with the product and art I'm consuming by watching someone else do it on YouTube.
Chris, I'm just saying, if you were skill checked by Sekiro, are you just not going to see the end of that game? Are you just going to sit there and never look at it again? That's kind of crazy, man.
Probably.
Okay, maybe Sekiro's a bad example because what's the plot in Sekiro?
Minimal.
Yeah. I don't know, Chris. I'm with Heath. The whole game is outside of the skill check part. Only the really dark stuff is inside of the skill check part. And the fight you are talking about does not gatekeep anything. It doesn't matter if you beat it or not, as far as we know right now. If you're like, I wish I knew what Chapter 7 held for me, and if I need to go back and win this fight, obviously we can't help you.
You're making definitive claims you do not know the answer to. Toby Fox has us in limbo for the next 5 years as we wait to figure out what these shadow crystals are for. And when I find out that I have 6 out of 7 and I don't get the true ending because he made Chapter 3 boss really hard, I'm going to be unfulfilled.
With the way the theme is going, I'd be surprised if those are required to hit the true ending. That would be horrible to most of its player base. So I don't see Toby. He made the pacifist ending very accessible, and that is the true ending to Undertale. You're not going to get gate caps from that.
Yeah, he's a sliding scale.
Yeah.
He won't be upset if the reward for 7 out of 7 Shadow Crystals is a cosmetic.
Yeah.
He will be upset if there is dialogue of any kind, even if it's trashy going, I'm serious trashy.
I wouldn't put it past Toby for the shadow crystals to be a gag along the lines of like Star Walker, completely optional content at the very end.
I mean, you know what it's going to actually be, though?
I don't.
A fight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. That would make
Your
sense.
reward for beating all those very, very difficult thing is the most difficult thing.
You
Okay.
get Sans too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pyrus?
What if it is, though?
And if this really cool fight is important to the themes of the game,
Oh, it might be.
I'm going to feel like I got an incomplete experience.
And to answer that question was the ending of Genocide's route a meaningful part of whatever he just said? I should listen back.
Important to the themes of Undertale.
Yeah, was the end of Genocide important to the theme of Undertale?
I haven't seen the end of Genocide because it's
you
too
have.
hard.
You've
The
seen
fact that he
Sans
hasn't
fight.
cared to look it up is admission of the fact that it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's not true. I don't care to watch someone else consume the media. I would like to be the one consuming it.
The genocide ending isn't telling you anything that the pacifist ending didn't already communicate to you.
I don't know that.
Well, that's your fault, buddy.
It's my fault I can't beat Sans or Undyne.
You didn't even try. Don't even act like you tried the genocide route. I told you, Chris, it's going to involve a lot of grinding before you get there, and you said, I'm good.
Yeah, I saw what that fight entails, and I know I won't be getting past it.
I think you could have gotten the third Shadow Crystal had you tried a little bit more. I just think you didn't want to put in the effort, and that's fine, Chris.
This guy
No
plays
one's making
Doom.
you. Yeah, he's like probably the one who could most easily do it. No offense. And he's like, I don't wanna, so I'm mad because it's too hard for me. And I'm like, Chris.
It just seems so incompatible with what the rest of the game is.
Chris, id Software is ruining the story elements of Doom by not making it easy enough for me to beat it.
But the story in Doom is laughable. No one's coming to it for that.
Doom is the dopamine rush, right?
Yes, the action dopamine
Yeah,
rush.
why make it hard then? Then I'm not getting the dopamine. If it's easy playable where I'm successful, bigger dopamine.
Oh no, but if they fall below the flow state threshold, you fall asleep.
Chris is like, I'd rather make it too hard than too easy, except for Deltarune.
And the whole Doom thing is, like many games, there's difficulty settings. Find the right one so that you enter flow state.
Hey, wait, I got the perfect out for this pit we're in. You seriously enjoy this? Yes, games are fun. No. Then I got the solution for you. Susie walks forward, grabs the controller out of Chris's hand, drops it. Then don't play it. Flat soda.
Break it down for me.
Susie, after you beat Shadow Mantle.
Yeah. She walks in
She
and
goes,
she's like,
you really enjoy playing this? She's talking to you, buddy.
Uh-huh.
who enjoyed that fight? Not me.
Toby is addressing your frustration about the difficulty pleasure trade-off in the game.
His solution is you should stop playing the game?
That's the argument he makes.
He's like, if this hard part is too hard and not enjoyable enough for you, don't bother with it. That is him telling you, Chris, that if you don't like that part, it's fine. You don't have to play that part.
And you're rewarded with a flat soda.
Which gives you 20 HP.
No, it gives you one, doesn't it?
What? Mine gave
Or
me.
no, it's worth $1.
Yeah,
Sorry, okay.
there we go.
All right, if that's him tacitly acknowledging that you shouldn't bother.
He's like, only the true hardcore people who care are going to do this. You don't need to bother, Chris. It's fine. You're going to get the full story.
I'll tell you this. If 10% of the player base of Deltarune gets 7 for 7 Shadow Crystals, that's too many.
Yeah, that would be really high, I think. Most people are just going to play through.
It defeats the purpose of what the Shadow Crystals represent.
Yeah, I expect many people started the weird route and got to Spam to Neo and stopped. So you're already past that threshold, and I would say Spam to Neo wasn't that hard once you know how to do it.
Okay, my perfect analogy didn't land, so let me just keep on going. More like Delta Swoon, am I right?
Are we in the spoiler section now, please?
Yeah.
What if we took a break, inserted some transition music, and came back with the spoiler section of Deltarune?
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Hey, and we're back.
And we're
So-
back.
Who the fuck is Ramb?
The bartender.
I disliked him. He was weird and British.
We're entering the Deltarune Chapter 2 and 3 spoiler section. Please be warned, tune out, skip ahead, use timestamps in the description to go to the next segment.
Let's start with Chapter 2 Weird Root spoilers and then move back to Chapter 3.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover.
Yes. All right, Chris, you're the inductee into the Weird Root. Why don't you start?
Neither of you have had a chance to talk about it in great detail either. I'm left with so many questions.
Yeah.
Like, who is Chris, really? That was right at top of the mind.
Well,
He's the boy in the Dreamer household.
is it Chris or is it us?
That's what I'm wondering.
So here's some facts to support that it's not Chris doing it, it's us. If Chris passes out during the Birdley fight at the end of the chapter, Birdley will say, for the first time having dialogue in this fight, he'll be like, Noelle, stop. Chris is gone. Like, I've rescued you. And Noelle says she can still hear a voice telling her to fight.
Us, the player.
Us, the player.
I have one question. Does this mean there's kind of 3 forms of Chris? There's conventional Chris, heartless Chris, and us using Chris as a puppet? Or
I
do you think
there are 2.
there's 2?
We are either the puppet master or Chris is heartless.
We are the puppet master, or Chris is heartless.
Yeah.
Then why is our voice... So you're saying the voice Noelle's hearing, which is us.
Mm-hmm.
That's just normal conventional Chris in that scene.
Like, are we using Chris's voice to do our controls? Probably.
We're still the puppet master. When we usually see Chris, he's a puppet.
For the most part.
The voice that Noelle hears in universe is Chris's voice until it isn't.
Telling her to proceed.
We can control them when we need to.
Okay. And then the big deviation as a character is because when you're on the weird route, the player controlling it is a hostile entity.
There's been no hint in chapter 1 of any sort of genocide-esque thing to do. It's only when Noelle shows up and it's just the two of you that things get weird. And it's something about Noelle that makes the player or Chris get a little darker. I mean, who knows why that could be? Probably has something to do with December.
It's real arranged marriage vibes.
Yikes.
I know, right?
Yikes.
They've known each other since childhood.
I will ride with Noelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like chilling. Oh, wow. I didn't mean for that.
Good fun. I think the sound effect really hits home when Noelle uses her ice attack in the times when you're not in battle. Like when you're getting the ring and the shopkeeper is like, oh, it's like plus $1 or whatever you have. And you're telling Noelle to get the ring. The screen goes black. You hear the sound effect. And Noelle's like, well, I have the ring. I don't really remember what happened, but everything's fine. Nothing happened. Let's go, Chris. Very haunting.
There need not be any trigger warning for this conversation, but there should be a trigger warning for anyone playing Weird Root. Probably in its entirety, but also just for chapter 2. Like, if anyone who's been in an abusive relationship. Gosh, when she's on the button and he walks through the laser and her inner monologue is, I could have just stepped off this button. And what does he say in return?
It's natural.
Whoa! What do we,
It's more nuanced, that's for sure.
This form of evil is more relatable.
Yeah.
Because who's going around committing genocide?
That's more a commentary on RPGs. This is a commentary on people. If we see characters like Chris, they're usually in like visual novels. You know, you don't really see them in a typical RPG sort of game.
I was a little slow on the uptake with the subtext of The Weird Root is about abusive relationships. It sunk in for me when Noelle had a line after doing yet another thing she did not want to do, being forced at, I won't say gunpoint, but might as well be. She started rationalizing that Chris had her best interest at heart. It's all okay. Yikes.
I mean, it's a ring.
It's a ring, the thorn ring.
I love that there's no time to think.
Very thematic that the thorn ring is draining your health. You can't get more on the nose than that.
What happens when Susie goes into her room?
Susie comes back out and they're like, oh, what was going on in there? How's Noelle? And Susie's like, everything's fine. We're not going in there.
That's how you interpreted it?
It was weird.
Okay.
The vibes were off. Why did you interpret it?
Susie was being like forced optimistic.
Yeah.
I had no understanding of what happened in that room.
Huge question mark for me.
Yeah.
I think Susie went in there and was like, yikes, things seem pretty weird in here.
Yeah.
This isn't Noelle I thought I knew. I'm getting out.
This is not accurate, but at first I thought Susie saw Noelle's suicide corpse in there or something.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, like more questions than answers. I'm cutting this. Chapter 4. I don't even know what happened on the couch. Just keep that in your back pocket.
Okay.
I mean, Spampton's job in the Weird Root is just to be something, which is fine. But I really liked how he provided 4 remaining.
Yeah.
When I went to the dumpster.
Very ominous. Yeah.
And then at the very end, when he's the Neo fight, and he's like, I was always there for you. I was there to give you my special deal. I told you 4 remaining.
That was a good callback.
That was good, yeah.
I will get this on the record that my appreciation for Spampton has grown since we last talked about him.
Why is that, Chris? Is it because of a certain theme that plays in the Queen's Castle on the Weird Route?
Oh, the Spampton's slowed reverb theme?
Deal gone wrong.
Oh, deal gone wrong. It's a contributing factor.
One of Chris's favorite tracks on the Deltarune soundtrack.
It's top 10.
What does that mean?
Everyone's confused to hear that.
When you guys wake up, Heath, did you stow Birdley's unconscious corpse in the closet?
You can't do that. I tried to do that.
I had a similar experience.
Oh. I thought you told me you hid him away in the closet.
I think the implication is that you do that.
What do you mean implication?
You go interact with the closet and it says big enough for a small body.
Oh, okay. So
and
it's
then
never
Birdley is not waking up.
It's never shown.
Yeah.
Do we think in Weird Root Birdley is just gone?
I hope not. He's my favorite. I love him. I'm sorry I encased him in ice forever. I think he's probably in a coma.
Okay.
Yep.
He'll be in that other hospital bed next to...
I will find out as soon as I kick the Roaring Knight's butt.
I thought you've played Chapter 4.
She's not done Chapter 4 of the Weird Root, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
That's all I've done.
Oh. How many times have you beaten Chapter 3?
Twice.
And which save did you import into Chapter 4?
Weird.
Oh, okay. So you haven't seen conventional Chapter 4.
There's things I can't say right now.
You've only seen Weird Root Chapter 4?
I thought I'd,
Shake things up, I guess. Okay, interesting.
And that was Chapter 2.
That was Chapter 2.
Weird Root. Chapter 3, spoilers?
Chris has a big TV. When Tenna goes, and now a worm from our sponsors, and it whites out to Rules crying after his worms, were you not blinded?
Yeah, it was very bright. Yeah, all this video game secret stuff is fun, but when are we talking about Rules Card and the Weather Duo?
Yeah, I want to talk about them too. And I want to talk about how if you on accident got Starwalker in your game file, that he replaces Rules Card as the member of the thruple.
What?
After the Rules Card fight, they're like, yeah, we don't need another person in our thing. It's just the two of us. So whether all these six together. Starwalker enters the screen, says Star Walker, inserts himself in the middle, and the three of them walk off screen. It's great. I was like, man, that totally paid off me accidentally getting this random NPC. He does not appear again. I don't know where he went. I lost him. Did you know you can go behind the bar? You can hang out with Ram.
You can?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until she sent me a
I
screenshot.
found it on accident. If you're in the S Club, there's like a hidden door and you can just slide on in.
It's in the room where it's like, whomp, whomp, whomp.
Yeah,
Yes.
the sad room.
Yeah.
There's like the big room where you go fight the stupid guy.
We gotta come up with a name for that thing.
The Shadow Mantle. That's his name.
Shadow Mantle Fight.
Okay, Shadow Mantle fight, the most unfun fight I've had in Undertale
Hey.
and Deltarune.
Someone never played Bomberman.
I don't find it fun.
No.
I thought it was really annoying. Like the Shadow Mantle himself, I thought he was really annoying. And then the music wasn't that good. And the attacks were so just having to be in the right space at the right time, but they weren't super predictable. I have now fought the Roaring Knight. I've seen his final attack. I have not beat him, but I've been this close and I'm going to get him. He is so much more of an enjoyable fight. I do not mind grinding that fight. I do mind when I had to grind the Shadow Mantle fight to get there. That was so annoying. Chris, hearkening back to your criticism, that fight, I would have loved to put it on to super easy mode and just blast through it.
Yeah.
Because it was annoying.
It's like random infrequent difficulty spikes aren't very fun in this fun story-based game.
But I chose to do it. When Susie came in and asked me if I was having fun, I said no.
Yeah.
And she told me to stop playing, and I said, okay, Susie, I hear you. I'm not listening, though. I'm going to keep playing.
Okay, so you can explore quite a bit once you get the sword and you kill all the enemies. And then there is a bridge in the bottom left of board 1 that's blocked by a tree. You get max level, you can kill trees. You kill the tree, you walk across the bridge. It's a room full of staircases. And as you know, if you enter a staircase, it just pops you out that little tunnel area or whatever. So you have to physically avoid all the staircases like you would a cactus.
Oh.
And if you get to the furthest staircase, it takes you to a bespoke room. My headphones weren't in, so I didn't hear the audio, but the mantle laughs at you, shoots off the top of the screen, and you explore. It's just the black Zelda type room, but you look around and you'll notice there's black text that's only visible if Chris is standing, such that the text layer is overlaid on his character, and it says, "See you soon." That's in board 1. And then, you get the ice key. You use the ice key, you get into the special spot. A bird blocks your path. Perfect. And then the text, what does the text say? It says, the forbidden path began with ice magic. That's your clue if you didn't know in chapter 2 to go back to chapter 2.
Sure, I can see that.
The part you're talking about in chapter 3 felt like a little review of all the sins we committed in chapter 2. I was like, I remember this part, Toby.
The mirror puzzle.
Yes.
You and a black figure with blue eyes that haze light copies your inputs. You have to get him to step on a button so that the barrier is bridged. And then you have to walk to yourself, and you don't control the sword. Chris does. Extra special, the duality of your main character. Okay, when Chris kills his friends.
They look away from the screen.
And why?
Why?
To make sure that no one's coming in on that right entrance? Or because the body of Chris is revolted by the sight of us committing murder in game?
I think Chris, the body and soul of Chris.
Don't say soul.
Yeah.
Confusing.
Okay, I'll be confusing. The body of Chris and whatever is there
cares for his friends.
Otherwise cares for their friends. And I think that's shown in other ways when you are not necessarily doing anything. Like there are cutscenes. The best examples I can come up with are in chapter 4 because that's what I can think about right now because that's what I just did.
That's why I decided not to play that.
Yep. So
he's averting his eyes.
I think they're averting their eyes. That's how I interpret it because I was like, that's really sad. They could also be looking towards the door to be like, Susie better not be coming in right now and see me killing her.
How long did you walk around board 3 before you realized that's what you needed to do?
So I knew...
Oh, you got spoiled.
Because I was trying to help Chris do it before I did it.
Yeah. As soon as Samantha said, let me know if you're having trouble figuring it out, I was like, oh no, I have all the pieces. All the pieces are there, which means...
Yeah.
There's only a couple enemies I can kill, and they're not my enemies.
So I think the main hotel entrance that you spawn out of in the beginning, I think I gestured with my sword at it, and that killed Ralze. And that got me level 1. Well, I imagine that's how everybody discovers it.
Okay.
Just by accident.
Okay.
And then connected the dots that I would have to kill Susie. And that was hard to do.
Yeah.
And then you get through the stanchions. And it mimics the chapter 2 alley that leads you to that manhole.
Chris noticed that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
Within the manhole area level, you're leveling up. And how do you achieve max level? There is a room full of what might as well be Anakin killing the Padawans.
They're just sitting there.
And they're not even the higher level enemies. It's just the room is packed with defenseless guys.
They're not attacking. They are just sitting there like waiting to die.
So I was lamenting to Chris that I'm not going to get the true pacifist ending because what you have to do to get the Shadow Mantle is going to cost me when Sans evaluates my entire Deltarune playthrough in chapter 7.
Should have done what I did and only get A rank on the board 1 and board 2 and then replay it on your genocide file. And then you're like, I'm winning.
Should have done that. But I later made amends with this after I beat Black Knight. But sorry, I always call him Black Knight, Roaring Knight. Because
the reveal.
You have to, it's more important to put down the bullies that need to be put down.
Heath, am I hearing you say the ends justify the means?
Well,
that's awfully a lot what it sounds like.
Yeah, you need the mantle. You can't beat Roaring Knight without the mantle.
I mean, you can.
I know.
It's possible.
How did you do the garden of swords sweeping through?
Oh, you hug the right end of the screen and don't look at the heart. You look at the
negative space.
The furthest right as the swords enter. And I don't use slow soul, nor do I use hold breath. I just got good with the natty speed.
Oh.
And yeah, just hug that right end of the screen.
Right end of the screen? So like the part where they are coming in, just to be clear.
As close to where they originate.
That is kind of opposite of traditional logic. You know that, right?
Yeah, if you're all the way on the left, you have more to react. But the closer I can see where the opening is...
It's not going to change before it hits you, I guess.
I mean, somewhat it does. The speed of those things.
I guess.
He kept this under wraps during my entire complaint section. He's so humble.
I'm going to beat it, Heath.
Don't worry, Chris. I'll just tell you. After you beat the Roaring Knight, it says recruited, and he shows up in the town, and his likes and dislikes are really confusing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Did you beat the Roaring Knight in both of your chapter 3s?
I've yet to. Well, here's the thing, right? Pacifist route does not have Jebel's knife, which is a big TP discount for Susie.
And you get that by killing Jevel lethally.
Yes.
Which I have not done.
Oh, then you will never beat the Roaring Knight.
Yeah, there we go. I can give up.
Well, I'm gonna do it, but
I'm also going to do it. But you can give up.
just think about it. Jebel's knife means you can get off 5 rude busters
I
as
understand
opposed to 6 without it.
the action
Or no.
economy.
What would cost you 6, you could get off.
What would
It's
cost
40% instead of 50%.
Yeah,
Is my
I was trying
understanding.
to extrapolate that.
Chris,
yeah.
what's helped me is I have a lot of items that make my TP number go up really fast.
Give one person a pink ribbon, one person a lodestone. Give Chris the bounce blade so that his defense is up. Because you're never going to be attacking with Chris, but that's the only weapon that boosts his defense.
12 damage.
Is it that what it is?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm going to try to beat him without Jebel's knife.
It's doable.
You know about rude buster timings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank goodness.
It doesn't make that much of a difference. Heath, one thing you didn't touch on in this process of getting the Shadow Mantle and beating the Roaring Knight, apparently, is when you are going to use the shelter key and you are heading down to the shelter door, which looks an awfully lot like the one in town, Chris is resisting you.
And by the second or third attempt, I realized what was happening.
Yeah, Chris does not want to go in the shelter.
Them is
Yeah.
resisting you, yes.
Yeah.
And then right before that, you had to commit tennicide.
Yes.
So I was conflicted, but I feel like it's more important that the Roaring Knight gets what he gets than really trying to preserve your innocence by not killing your friends to get the item that you need.
I mean, within the universe, every character on the screen is a person controlling a video game controller. So I guess that would mean you are killing Tenna's video game character. Maybe that's the equivalent of resetting him at level 1, but it's not like Tenna's fine. When you go to the round 3, he still fights you.
Yeah.
So I won't worry about it.
No mention of video game Chris walking off the screen and confronting actual Chris.
We're waiting for you to bring it up, Chris.
Okay. I did attack when that happened.
I did not.
I didn't my first time either.
It knocks him down.
Not very nice of you.
Not very nice.
And what do you think that is?
I don't know what that represents.
Do you think that's just genocide, free XP?
Well, when you plug in the odd controller, because that's what you're using, it shows up on the screen, like when your screen is loading, it shows the heart, and then Chris's avatar populates over it.
Yeah.
Versus when Chris is playing the games that Tenna has programmed, it's just Chris.
Oh.
There's no little heart. So that's got to mean something. That's got to be important. I don't know what it means, but it's got to mean something.
Well, when they come face to face, it's clearly heart and heartless.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
And he saves Susie. Have you not seen this?
Save Susie.
Bruh. Oh my God.
What are you talking
We
about?
should actually kind of show her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys are... Wah! Okay. All right. Whoa. Okay.
They save
This
Susie?
is the most consequential part of the... Okay, I'm going to...
Is it after the Roaring Knight?
It's before the Tenna boss fight.
Oh, okay. I would like to see it.
Yeah, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I must have missed it.
So this is as Susie comes in after you just acquired the mantle. That's it. Yeah.
What's the trigger for that?
Yeah, how do you get that to trigger?
You still control 8-bit Chris after he walks off.
If you try to attack Susie, Chris saves her from you.
Now we have to watch the other thing.
Good God. See, Chris does care about their friends.
Why though? There's two interpretations. Is it because I'm gonna need Susie for the big fight? Mm-hmm. For the same reason I'm training Noelle?
I think they care about Susie the same way Susie cares about them. I think Chris maybe has conflicting motivations, but I think Chris, against maybe their motivations, cares about Susie.
It's in the game partially as an Easter egg for the people that are shipping Chris and Susie. People
Okay.
who want them to end up together as opposed to Noelle.
Weird.
Or Bertha.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I guess it's fine. I understand why people do that.
You didn't feel their connection At the beginning of chapter 2, where it's like, hey, Chris, could you focus in class? Me neither. Let's go. Like,
oh,
I love that.
They have such a great bond. I think you're right. They're so cool with each other.
The church. Just
them pouring the drinks in each other's mouths. That moment was so good.
I like them together.
I like them. I think they're like besties.
Fine.
The problem is, I'm like, man, Noelle needs to get into Susie's pants so bad. I'm rooting for her.
Okay, yeah, it's not mutually exclusive. I am also rooting for Noelle.
Okay. Susie has 2 hands.
There's a new power thruple.
Yeah, thank you. Chris beat me to it.
I want to talk about Rules. Rules is like the minor boss of this chapter.
And one of the highlights.
Yes. His arc, if we can call it that, was the funniest part of this chapter to me. I loved it every time he was on the screen. It was hilarious.
What are their names? El Nina and La Nino,
Yeah.
the weather reporter duo.
Yeah.
They're hilarious. They're such great minor antagonists.
Yeah.
The fact that they both just kind of go along with the dating rules card because they think the other one wants it. And then the big reveal of when La Nino and El Nina, you think they're about to be reunited. And then you hear, so you must be the ex. That's hilarious.
I thought the biggest plot twist of this chapter was realizing that canonically Rules card is hot.
In universe, he's hot.
Yeah. El Nino was like, yeah, I know he's really hot, but he's weird. And I was like, what do you mean he's really hot? That's news to me.
Well, you saw his pose in the shop in chapter 1.
In the hip shop. He's working it.
Yeah.
he was working it.
He knows what he has.
What did he say to Lancer when Lancer joins the fight? It's like, not now, Lancer. Lesser Daddy is harming your friends.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. Just every line from him was gold.
All this to say, if you're on a dark fountain adventure and you hear somewhere in the melody, da 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 da, start running because someone's about to die.
Is that about everything we wanted to touch on in Deltarune so far?
Pine Tree Officer's Badge, the Deltarune.
I have a good theory about that.
Officer's Badge.
Asgore?
It's not Undyne?
Undyne's a little busy.
You're saying that the buttons are admission?
Pine Tree. Chris figured that out actually before I did without seeing any chapter 4. He was like, oh, Pine Tree is probably this because of this. And I was like, how did you know that?
Well, because deers live in the woods.
No, because of Christmas trees.
As Pine Tree is like a Christmas tree. Is what I
Oh,
thought.
thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
Okay,
way
good.
way smarter than me.
Wait, okay, so are you saying that the buttons, and feel free to just be like, this doesn't matter. The buttons represents the people that have access? Or does it represent the Roaring Knight is trying to get these 3 folks? Like he got Undyne.
I think it's the 3 people who have access.
This doesn't matter.
I gave him an out. Yeah,
Yeah,
he used it.
okay.
And that's Deltarune.
Oh, I was having fun.
Yeah, but you can see he's thorn ringing right now.
Yeah, he is. I'm sorry.
I'm doing what?
Thanks for talking with us.
You're welcome. All right. So, our runtime is sufficiently long. We have no need for our bracket battle. That prep work will go to use someday. I have one last thing to discuss on this episode. Just a news story. I don't know if you have any news, Heath.
No.
This was brought to my attention by a friend of the show, Janice, who sent me a funny news article. Death Stranding 2 came out recently to rave reviews. Critics are eating it up. It sounds like
90 on Metacritic.
90 on OpenCritic.
Who owns it?
I do.
Yeah.
Feeling good about that one.
He only paid 18 for it too.
Only 16.
Whatever.
By and large, most people are saying it's like Death Stranding, but better this time around. So I'm looking forward to playing that. But in the pre-release environment, this news article came out with a inflammatory headline, which I then read the article and thought it was worth discussing. The headline that grabs your attention, I'm reading this off of IGN's article, is Hideo Kojima made significant changes to Death Stranding 2 because playtesters thought it was, quote unquote, too good.
Too good.
Too good. Which is pretty funny.
They would not get off the hedonic treadmill?
I'm going to read the article now. This is coming from IGN. This revelation comes from Johan Woodkid Lemoyne, who worked closely with Kojima on the upcoming game's soundtrack. And here's the quote from Woodkid. There's a key moment where we had a discussion, probably halfway through, when we were doing the game, when he came to me and he said, "We have a problem. We have been testing the game with players. They like it too much. That means something is wrong. We have to change something." And he changed stuff in the script and the way some crucial stuff happens in the game because he thought his work was not polarizing and not triggering enough emotions. According to Kojima, if everyone likes your work, it means it's mainstream. It means it's conventional. It means it's already pre-digested for people to like it. I don't want that. Kojima reportedly told Lemoyne, "I want people to end up liking things they didn't like when they first encountered it, because that's where you really end up loving something."
All right, the cynic in me is like, oh, this is just posturing to sell more copies of your game. But I know who Hideo Kojima is. So this is 100% genuine.
I fear it's genuine.
He said it genuinely. This guy talked about it for the reason he said.
I fear that I would have liked the more fun version.
Me too. So I had two responses to hearing this quote. One is that the sentiment Kojima expressed, I kind of agree with in the main, where I think as a certain piece of art gets more and more niche appeal, the chances of a certain individual loving it go up, even if the masses, it won't quite work for them. Because you're more tailoring something towards a certain person's sensibilities, where broad appeal, it's going to be a 7 or 8 across the board. So I kind of agree with the theory he was working with there. I don't know if I agree with what it seems like he indicated he did in practice. Actually, I'm kind of surprised he bothered to respond to feedback at all, because in my mind, at least, Kojima, one of the few people working in games who's probably earned the auteur label. My concept of the stereotypical auteur is someone who's aloof, unconcerned with the reaction of people, puts out the product as he envisions it, doesn't care about the reception. I was surprised he felt compelled to change crucial aspects of the game for what I think is a dumb reason, it being too good. What does that even tell you about what you should change?
It could be inflating how much the criticism or compliment, I guess, altered the game. I think that when you are known for making really like thought-provoking art that maybe isn't for everyone, there's definitely the fear of losing your touch and becoming mainstream. Like that's probably his worst nightmare, because he makes one of those and every product after that is going to be like, well, you know, he's kind of mainstream now. So I definitely do see him maybe ignoring most criticism, but hearing that and waking up.
Yeah, I think you're right. I kind of lose a little bit of respect for him, feeling the need to adjust his vision based on it being received positively.
You're like him acting like a human being. Disgusting.
Shouldn't
do better.
If he earns his auteur status, shouldn't version 1 of Death Stranding, the one that was allegedly too good, shouldn't that have been his pristine virgin vision to begin with? Why is he adapting to the reception of playtesters?
Why is he acting like all video game proprietors do?
Right. Most video game proprietors are trying to create a product to sell copies, not Hideo Kojima by reputation. He's supposed to be an artist. He should be above that.
I mean, he's still got to sell copies of his game, Chris.
Well,
yeah, I think in Death Stranding 1, he also had playtesters who also told him things about the game. And I think there were probably minor or major changes to the game based on what was said.
I don't know.
It just didn't make an IGN news article.
I don't think you can use the argument that he's trying to sell more copies when he got the feedback that it's too good and he's like, we gotta sandbag this game.
You're saying that he has now responded to playtesters, and that's a huge crime. He was always doing that. He just wasn't telling IGN, bragging about how cool his game was until he made it only for a certain group.
Probably behind the scenes, he was always soliciting feedback. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're an auteur doesn't mean you have your nose in the sky. Real artists know when their work is good, and they will change their work to improve it. Let's put it in terms that maybe are more relatable here.
Wait, and then I will put it in terms that no one can relate to.
Sounds great. If you're like writing code and you're like, okay, this code is functional, and then your boss comes and is like, hey, if you do it like this, it's going to be this much faster and it's going to be easy. And you say, that's a really good idea. I'm going to implement it that way. Does that make you a bad programmer? Probably not.
No.
Before he can answer. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Chris, when you're watching Ratatouille and Remy the Ratatouille did such a good job on that soup that the waiter comes back, special order, and the whole restaurant is ordering the special order. If Remy tweaks the recipe so that he can keep up with demand, or not, well, that would be a justifiable reason for not making the best dish he ever could.
What if he wants to experiment with new flavors that maybe people aren't as familiar with and then like convince them to like it anyway? He wants to put something Americans aren't as familiar with, like octopus, in his soup. Teach them to love it.
Ratatouille, it's a peasant dish.
They already know they like mac and cheese. He doesn't want to feed people mac and cheese. He's like, yeah, people are going to love it. They're going to eat it. It's going to taste really good. That's not what I'm about. I'm about introducing, I don't know, bugs into the diet.
It reads to me as he had an idea for the game. The people loved it. And he's like, I'm not going to be viewed as contrarian enough.
Oh, okay.
I got to be really pretentious right now, go back to the drawing board and change my original idea, my auteur idea, and just kind of make it a little weird in a couple areas just so that people go, oh, Kojima, how strange.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I mean, if you're like, is this man who is known for being pretentious? Yeah, probably, Chris.
Yeah, this just read as like extra pretentious to me.
Well, this wasn't his IGN article. He didn't put this out there.
Right.
It was some guy who worked on the music.
Right. But that, whether or not it was being reported by Kojima doesn't mean it didn't happen.
You're like a friend of Kojima's said that he was really pretentious.
They work closely together.
There was quotes, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, but you can lie. Anyways, he could have taken it out of context. There's things we don't know. Is that quote super pretentious? Of course.
Bottom line, there's a build of Death Stranding 2 that's more fun that we can't play because of his pretensions.
Kojima made sure I didn't get 93 on OpenCritic, helping me catch up.
No, Kojima made sure you got 90 instead of 82.
Yeah.
Well,
this is for your benefit.
Yeah.
It was going to be even better.
Critics love when things are interesting.
It would have been more fun, not better reception-wise.
Critics prefer a balanced diet. Critics love eating their vegetables. They hate when it's just a big cake. Call of Duty rates so mid because it is all cake.
I think that's true about critics.
Caked up, they say.
I think that's true about critics in the main, maybe less applicable to video game critics. They're not the most snobbish group.
They act like it sometimes.
Getting into the gig of video game critic doesn't bestow the amount of prestige and aloofness, I don't know, food or film critic would.
Yeah, and food and film critiques are now so not useful to the common person that most of the time I ignore them in favor of like Google reviews.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a pretentious foodie. I'm not a pretentious film watcher. Do people enjoy themselves while they're doing this? Yes. When I look at OpenCritic scores or Metacritic scores, games that I have enjoyed will often score lower than games that are like critically beloved. And it's like,
well, that's because you have bad taste.
No, I'm not saying that always happens, Chris. I can enjoy critically beloved games. I'm just saying my favorite game ever scored like in the 80s.
I'm saying I think maybe the delta between audience and video game critic is smaller than other domains.
It's smaller, but you're comparing an ocean to a lake.
Sure.
Yeah. The average person is like a mile away from the food critic in terms of their palate. Versus like the average video gamer is like...
Maybe I should take that back, actually. The average video gamer plays Fortnite and Warzone, and that's it.
Oh, don't forget about Candy Crush.
Oh, Candy Crush.
Yeah. You're just closer to a critic.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, you're closer to a critic than you would think. That's the real thing.
Yeah, maybe I should start a podcast.
Curse you, Kojima, for being so talented for your own good.
Here's the thing, Heath. Are there parts of Death Stranding that you still think about today?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Are there parts of what's a fun game that's nothing but just like fun moments? I don't know. If you played Fortnite, I guess. Do you still think about Fortnite? Probably not.
Mario Kart.
Playing Mario Kart is a fun activity in the moment. I'm never really thinking about Mario Kart when I'm not playing it. Kind of out of my mind.
That's true.
I'm thinking about what is my missing King Boo skin.
I'm thinking about B Wario and why we don't have him.
Anyway, that was that news story. Thanks for bringing it to my attention, Janice.
It's going to be regular boo, man.
Oh, thanks, Janice.
And now, should we close out this episode?
Folks, if you want to write in, you need only write in to moviestubes@gmail.com. Write in whether or not you had a CRT and you licked it and you felt the static.
Please do. That's once again mobiustubespodcast@gmail.com. A preview of next episode. We're going to try to be done with Chapter 4 of Deltarune. We'll see how that goes. We're recording sooner than usual, so quick turnaround time. It'll be Samantha's final episode for a while, and we have a special segment prepared for that. And Split Fiction talk. Expect that.
Wait, Split Fiction, who controlled the phone?
I controlled the phone, and I fucked it up. More on that next episode.
Watching him do that was definitely one of the highlights of playing that game. But yeah, more on that next episode.
What a shocking that hasn't been done yet.
It was an excellent gag, but we don't have time for Split Fiction today.
The racing past backgrounds really sells the effect.
Lots of fun things on the docket.
Get out of here.
All right. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.